So let's talk a little bit about strategy. Time and time again, we're having a conversation with a potential new client or even a current client where they say something along the lines of, we need to redo our website. We need to redesign our website. We need to replatform. Our website should have personalized content or for our different customers. They get real tactical, and which I get. But what we try to do is first take a step back. And in the beginning of any consultative conversation we're having with an organization, we always ask them very similar questions. And that question simply is, can you define the definition of digital for your organization in just one word, right? We always have goals. I want, got to increase, average order cards. I want to, increase conversion of abandoned carts. I want to sell more product. But what is that one word that describes or defines the definition of digital in your organization? And just to give you kind of an insight, some past examples from conversations, what I've highlighted are individual words that led to remarkable solutions for the business. Because this one word is a simple way to align. And then from here, you of course could break out to more tactical, specific, measurable goals within various different functional groups. But if we look at digital and we put it, into our business, what is that one word that defines it? And, for insurance, for example, availability created a very interesting solution that ensured that brokers can find the exact underwriter that they need for the exact product bundling they are seeking within the exact region. For those that are in the insurance space, how the product, the region, how those things really make up and can get complex. And so the ability to give really focus on the broker, which is obviously a major distribution for insurance, and make their lives easier, time savings on theirs, and to drive that ability to be available for them, via digital channel. For luxury, the idea of communicating differently about the same product to different types of millionaires. Again, you look at David Zwerner, high net worth category. For those that play in that category, there's a lot of subsets of different types, from someone that has $10 million in liquid funds to someone that has $50 million in liquid funds to someone that has $1 billion. It's a different conversation, even though I'm still selling a $1 million piece of art. How do we become approachable across those conversations? And then when we look at data from a retail perspective, there was a really interesting solution of non-intrusive ways of capturing information about people to be a catalyst within the DXP. So amongst their everyday life, not even trigger based, we're asking questions and it's a simple yes/no answer. It's a on a scale from 0 to 5, how are you feeling today? And that is being captured and processed and turned into an experience. And so, it's a good practice to think about. One of my favorite goals on this list that I did not highlight on purpose, though, was systematic in the pharma world, and that grid there, because that should be the purpose of the digital experience platform to me, to be a system in your business working for you 24/7, 365. So if we unpack and think about like the digital experience as a system for your business, first we have obviously the digital experience platform is a connected system that should be consistently running for your business, and it has strategic goals. What is a strategic goal? We just talked about the one word, but if we think of some others for the luxury brand, it was capturing new audience and understanding them. It was optimizing conversion as much as possible. These are strategic goals because we need to measure them, because any enterprise digital experience platform, especially Sitecore, is going to provide you with robust tools and foundation for automation, analytics, and tracking around these strategic goals. But time and time again, I talk to clients and they really don't have the goals really defined. It's quite scary sometimes. But what we want the DXP to do is produce outputs for the organization. These outputs, for our luxury brand was defined as revenue, digital sales, for B2B could be, MQLs, SQLs, various different capabilities that we want to get as outputs of the digital experience platform, such as multivariate split testing. Those outputs can be measured and provide information into our data node, and that data node contains all of that implicit, explicit data type, the actors or audiences that are interacting with this overall system that we have here. And, data such as the type of content they are consuming, how much, how fast, what is the next best conversation to have with this individual? What did they just order? That data can be compared to our strategic goals for, near real-time attribution measurement. And that data also leads to changes in processing and inputs in the form of insights and analytics. That DXP collects and collects all these inputs. And so the inputs for our luxury brand, for example, was a VIP list that should have a completely different experience from the general public on a new collection release. So they have a list of 1,000, another list of tier 2 clients that's 5,000 to 10,000 people. And using Sitecore tools, they go into a list management process, and when those people hit the page, they actually get a completely different experience, and that's how we can be approachable to them. So that's an example of an input going back into the DXP. For a Fortune 500 B2B brand, those inputs were Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It was Crux DMP. The DXP does that processing for the business. It runs all the rules that we give it, the development rules, the engineering rules that the engineers are going to do. So you really have definitions for each one of these nodes, because when we do that, when we actually can line that up, it becomes a really rational way to explain to your leadership and organization the expected return on investment, both tangible and intangible value that you will receive if you commit to the right execution with your digital experience platform. Because I think we all know time and time again, there's only so much time, money that your organization can commit to an initiative. There's always a back and forth between budget and actual implementation. But if you can actually lay this out like this, my strategic goals for my DXP, for my digital experience platform, which is a connection of our digital properties. Like if you're a brand that has 60 brands underneath it, that is your digital experience across those 60 brands. It shouldn't just be siloed into the one brand experience. But for our luxury brand here, capture new audiences and understand them, optimize conversion as much as possible, increase share of voice, with current clients. The idea of profit performance of anything and everything. These were the strategic goals, and the outputs are pretty expected. We want revenue. We want to be able to automate email communications. We want intuitive building experiences for our digital team. Our inputs are the implicit data from Sitecore, the sync from their custom homegrown CRM. And then we have our processing and our data that we're going to capture. But I always find here, dear boss, here are the goals, here are the expected outputs. This is what we need to feed it. Here's what it will process for us. And here's the data we will capture. And it becomes a real easy way to explain your DXP strategy to your leadership.